Okay, nice. I wish I liked the other intro more. But okay. Brother Envy, you are in the blogs this weekend, okay? So come play an Envy situation that escalated listeners just to keep you all up to date in case you missed it during one of DJ Envy's rants or Rick Ross mentioned Gunplay's name there. Is audio for that refresh their memories now you talk about boss and all the boss moves you did? We reported a story 3 weeks ago about your guy he has the Mac. Okay, good. Gunplay and his family disagreed with the remark, so Charlemagne grew envious and they made a call to each other. This is what happened. What is up, dude? Why are you acting so weird when you call? Chris, wow, my brother, when I had anything to do with automobiles every 4, you know I will slap you right for that. You know that, right? And my wife posting the GoFundMe, man, what that my kid was sick, man, she had a heart defect, my brother. Why has to do with that? You know I will slap you. Right for that, you know that, right? Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I will be wrong if I will be wrong to handle my business. Then right, what is your business? I am having a conversation with you. If you feel like you are being disrespected, do not talk to me like man I am, like no, whatever. And if you feel like that, I apologize. That was not my intention. My wife is affected by that. I want to be clear. I want to be clear here. You know I would slap out of you about that, right? And then we could fight. But that Charlemagne called me on Monday of last week and said, your Gunplay want to talk to which the person replied, no, I am not talking to anybody. I then said, you know what? Gunplay is a friend to the room. He is someone that we know. If he has a problem with something, let me take the call because that is what men do without a doubt. He then said, I talked about your wife and your daughter. We reported a story 3 weeks ago about your guy. Music reported a story that he had to set up a GoFundMe because he was having some problems. If that is your brother, you take care of your brother at any point. Did you hear me? Mention his wife or his child and I was here. I never once mentioned his wife or daughter. Instead, it would talk about boss and all the boss moves you did. I did not discuss any of that when Gunplay called me because he is a friend to the room and he was upset at first. You could tell he was upset. But to be fair, let me finish, okay? Let me finish. So I did not mention child and I did not put the information about his goal for me. He did that. I did not let that cat out of the bag. Yeah, he talked about it. It was something that was a story that was reported, yeah? So I did not talk about Charlemagne. How long did we talk on the phone after we talked? About 10 minutes after. You know, how was that? How was the conversation? The conversation was very, very cool. We're talking about families. We were talking about how we first started talking about how to squash this issue between you and Ross. And even how Gunplay, you know, even though he's had his beefs and problems in the industry, he still was a friend to the room. He would come up and he would do all these things on the show. We laughed, we joked. We got off the phone positive. Yeah, got off the phone. Nay, positive, but 2 things we should add to that. The GoFundMe was in reference to the issue that his daughter was going. I didn't mention, I just mentioned that, yeah. That's all I mentioned. And number 2, I think Gunplay was expecting a public apology, but you weren't here exactly yesterday. Where were we? And we were gonna bring it back up and have this discussion because you know what I thought it was? I even said that last week, though. I said Envy's not here, remember? Yeah. And I said Envy's not here, but you know when he comes back, he can talk about this situation with Gunplay. But I thought it was dope because I thought it was 2 men having up a problem, a disagreement, and handling like, yeah. And I was like, you don't see that, so the fact that we can have that discussion, I first thought it was cool. But when you record a phone call, I just thought I felt that was it, was pursuing something else. And then, is he still performing Love Hip Hop? Is he on Love Hip Hop still? I honestly believe that yes. He could feel some type of way and that he has the right to feel some type of way because it is still placing him in a situation that he had nothing to do with. However, the recording is the only thing that has him feeling that way. I just think it is all egos. And when you are dealing with people who have family issues, you know what I am saying. Like nobody wants to see their wife crying, but that is why I said that was not my intention. And like I said, I did not mention his wife or his child. I never even said what I just said he put up a GoFundMe and I was talking about Ross helping his friends. That is where it came from. So he didn't. Florida is where this occurred. And according to Florida Statute 93,403, sir, repetitiously recording another person's voice is a 3rd-degree felony violation punishable by up to 5 years in jail and a fine. So now district attorneys from Florida have been calling me like crazy because you're not allowed to tape somebody's phone call and put it out. Yeah. Like it's crazy. You gotta. You gotta be smarter. I agree with people, and I think it's so whack to record somebody, especially when you have a conversation like a man, and I think men need to do men things, and I think recording somebody's conversation and not telling them put it out. It's not a man thing, I agree with that, but at this moment. You know the man thing to do is to just give a public apology to Gunplay's wife. Didn't I just say it? I said if she felt away, I apologize. I said that like I'm not going to over-apologize. If that wasn't my intention, you said it on the call it publicly, that's what it was. You know I mean it was. What it was? Yeah. That's all, yeah. I didn't know you can't have a fresh matte black paint job. Yeah. Not you know I didn't know that you can get arrested for recording somebody's conversation. I gotta take Mo. Nice to court then. Who was Monique? Another love and hip-hop reality is that it depends on the state, or if you are something like it depends, every state is different. So if you are on probation and you do that, that could be a felony charge and you could go back to jail for probation, as well as being sued civilly and having to pay a fine. But this is the way you got to play with people right now, because people do not respect boundaries. Yes, they do not. They do not respect the fact that you can. The Little Mermaid made over $100 million at the EU.'s box office, which brought my cousin into this message. However, that is not true. You never, ever, but it is okay. Shout out to Charlemagne's family, because Haley is also Chloe's cousin. Yeah, that is how it works. However, I doubt that she will ever make that claim, because you never, ever work really hard for him, for Chloe. Not Hallie, because... What day did I see it? I saw it. Okay. Well, there was some nice audio from her aunt. Ooh, Haley's aunt. So this may be Auntie Charlemagne. Saturday, Friday, Saturday, okay. Did you go to sleep on that one too, or did you know it was okay because you went to sleep on the white man, but not because it was bad because I was actually sleeping all those edibles, and you know that is all your fitness, so you have got to take it easy. That is it, all right. Her grandfather picked cotton and her grandmother picked tobacco, and now she is the star of the Little America. How exciting is that? I do not know if it is her real aunt, but she has something to say after seeing the movie. Look at this man. What is wrong? Stars of the biggest film in the entire world, 5 years old, wow. No, I do not know. You do not. You do not remember. That is before my time, but that is okay. So this is okay? Man, leave me alone. Sorry, Haley Bailey, but you are correct. That was incredible. The Little Mermaid was fantastic. It is good. Did you watch it? No, I didn't. But I will, and I will not lie to you like T.I. and Tiny lose their lawsuit against MGA Entertainment toy manufacturers, okay? So basically, they filed a lawsuit in 2019 claiming that the toy manufacturers' OMG dolls were blatant copies of her daughter's girl group, and it was like if you look closely at the pictures you can literally see like they copied Sonic's look, they copied the other two girls. But they lost. I thought they were going to win. That I do not know how they lost that lawsuit, yeah? I thought that was a sure thing, yeah. That concludes your rumor report. When we return, Tesla and Figaro will be joining us for some front page news. We have something to talk about. Call 800-585-1051. We are talking about black drivers out there. They will be discussing this NPR article that claims that for black drivers or police officers, the first 45 words are a sign of what is to come, essentially. You can tell if you are about to get into trouble based on a police officer's first 45. Next Earth in the Morning is one of the front page stories. Breakfast Club.